You're welcome to this this segment of a series of messages which the Spirit of the Lord impressed in my heart, concerning the events that will unfold in the body of Christ beginning from this year 2020. In our previous videos, we shared some of these messages in various classifications. We talked about financial networking in the body of Christ. We talked about believers finding their place of ministry in the body of Christ. All right. In this segment of the message, I'm going to be concentrating on the plan of God's Spirit for the body of Christ as it relates to purposes and callings. First of all, I'd like us to go to the book of Ephesians, the 4th chapter, and we'll be reading from verse 7. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 7. Before I read, I'd like to quickly say that in this last move of God's Spirit, there's going to be an increase in knowledge, like I said earlier on, and a surge, an explosion of an increase in knowledge, an increase in revelation knowledge. I also said before that this revelation knowledge will come majorly in the area of giftings and callings. Christians are going to be discovering what their callings are or what their giftings are. All right. When the Lord impressed this message in my heart, it was clear to me that many Christians don't even know what they've been called to do in the body of Christ. Many do not know what their purposes are. And one thing the Lord impressed in my heart very strongly is that if pastors of local churches were to do an altar call in their respective churches, probably on a Sunday morning when the churches are usually full, and if the pastor was to say, okay, those of you who have discovered your callings, step out, you'll find out that you have more people sitting down than those who are actually responding to that altar call. And if you take a further step to say, out of those of you who are actually out and standing, how many of you are actually fulfilling the call? You'll find out that fewer will respond to that altar call. Okay, I don't want to go into the fact that if an altar call was made and people were asked, how many of you have satisfactorily fulfilled, or you feel that you're actually fulfilling God's call for your life, you'll probably find that fewer people would respond to that altar call. And it became a source of a major concern, because the rapture of the church is close, much more closer than we ever expected. So if you have more than 60, 70%, or probably over 50% of believers all over the world who don't even know what they've been called to do, it's one of the indications that the church, the body of Christ, to a tremendous percentage, is not ready for the rapture. All right? So I strongly believe that these messages were coming from the Lord to prepare the local churches, for one of the greatest events that is about to occur. Still in this introductory part, we were welcomed into 2020 with COVID-19, the challenge of COVID-19. All right. And I believe that the Bible has the greatest and correct interpretation to the events that actually took place beginning from ending of January and possibly February of this year. All right. Now, in the series of the messages that the Spirit of the Lord laid in my heart, I mentioned a few things about each of them, sparingly. But we're going to be doing detailed teachings on those messages. Okay? So we'll just quickly take a short break right now, and then I'll go into the details of the messages that we have to share with you. God bless you.